tables there. You will see some people take off their goggles to run because, you know, when you swim, your goggles kind of get foggy when you swim. Leave your goggles on. Unless you have goggles that you know you can take off and put on without that seal leaking again, leave those goggles on, even if they're a little bit foggy. Grab a sip of water, rinse your mouth out, and spit it. Don't drink it, just spit it. You're gonna get back in. The water here is beautiful. It's crystal clear. You're gonna find feet in front of you. You're gonna see bubbles. If you've practiced drafting, look for feet in front of you. Look for those bubbles and hang on to them. The biggest thing for this course is also sighting, because we do have currents. We've got the waves, we've got the wind. We have pretty fish swimming underneath us. We've got some skate that'll be there. Remember to sight on this course. It is huge because that current can absolutely push you off. And sometimes the newer athletes for Florida, they forget to sight, and then half the pack is in the middle of the course and you need to go back over here. So every 5-6 strokes, just poke your head up, look back, pretty fish, I've got feet in front of me, I'm going. There's a couple of jellyfish that will be in the water tomorrow when you see them. No big deal, who's gotten stung before by a jelly? Okay, it hurts for what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds? It's okay. Take a breath, keep on going, you're good to go. When you come back out, just get your water, back in. The swim for Ironman is a controlled effort swim. Unless you are racing for the podium or your coach has told you different. Your goal is to exit the swim with as much energy as you possibly can have. Your heart rate is going to be going tomorrow morning. Even if you are zen-like on that beach, doing relaxation exercises, your heart rate's still going to be pretty high tomorrow morning when that goes off. So just chill. We're going to do 2 exercises today to help us get your heart rate up a little bit and then bring it back down on that second lap. We're going to start, Coach Kate. This is Coach Kate with Team Soul Sports. What were we talking about in the morning that I said if I forget to mention it, mention it?
So coming back in, make sure you're not fighting the wave as it's pushing you out or the current. So when you're coming back in, you're going to feel the surge with the wave. Swim as the wave regresses. Just kind of float there, nice and easy, and as it surges again, swim as, you know, as hard as you can or whatever. But don't fight against that pull back out.
Yeah, and so you guys can actually see it. So as the waves go back, you will see the athletes get dragged back by that wave, and they'll be fighting, trying to gain speed, but you cannot fight this ocean. Just when you feel that pull back, just relax, take a couple strokes, and then when you feel that momentum carry you forward, that's when you go back into your stroke. And you can actually save quite a bit of time and lessen your effort just by doing that one simple thing, because coming back in, you still have quite a ways of that current at your back going, pushing you, pulling you, pushing you, pulling you, and you can get a lot. When you're coming in, where do you start to stand up coming out of the swim?
Feel the bottom.
When you're, yes, absolutely. So when you guys come back in, you're going to see, especially if it's like this, you'll see athletes standing way far back, walking. You guys put your heads down, just nice and chill. Keep on going until your hands hit that sand, and you'll gain speed.
There's a large sandbar out there right now, and I had to stand up because my face is moving.
That's okay.
Yeah, we've had to walk
so
over it in
you might
previous
have that
races.
tomorrow. What is the official rule about a sandbar? Can you stand up and power run if you want to?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. If you have a sandbar and you can't swim, stand up and walk. Just try to limit that energy. That is perfectly okay, 100% acceptable to do. Yes.
The only thing I want, anybody swam in the ocean before? Most of us trained primarily at the pool. So ocean swim is a little different from the pool. You don't need to go full glide. That's very important. Ocean swim, you cut your stroke a little shorter, okay? Because you have the wave, so you want to tie yourself into the wave, and you don't have to go all to a full glide. So if you're coming in, cut your stroke a little shorter, and come right out, finish the stroke, right? Because especially people with wetsuits, also when you go all the way for full glide, you're straightening up your shoulder. So you want to relax the shoulder. I don't know if it's going to be a wetsuit swim tomorrow or not, but if it is, try not to overstrain your shoulder. That's the problem with the wetsuit, is the shoulder.
Okay, so we're going to do a focus. The focus is going to be on your water. And Coach Michael was just alluding to the fact that in our pool, we can glide, we can go into that wall, we can glide as much as we can. And our swim coaches encourage you to glide, take these long strokes. In the open water, you want to increase your arm cadence. Every time that you have the current pushing you, if you're gliding, what's happening?
Pushing you back.
It is pushing you back. So we're focusing on this first lap, we are focusing on a higher arm turnover. And you're not going crazy. What you're thinking is, okay, my normal stroke typically feels like this, I want to go like this. Just slightly faster. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to do 3 by 20-second accelerations. So when you guys are swimming, you feel like you're nice and easy, you've gotten into your rhythm, just increase your speed for 20 seconds. Slow down, get that rhythm back, 20 seconds again. And that's just good to do pre-race, just to get that neuromuscular junction going, ready to swim for tomorrow. So that's all that is. It's not going to tire you out. It's just a way to say, hey, wake up muscles, it is time to race tomorrow. Okay? We're going to do those 3 times. You're going to come back in. Coach Michael is going to be